Hello everyone, my name is Nicolas Garrido. I'm a multimedia engineering student. I apologize for my voice, I'm a little bit sick, so you're gonna hear me um, being sick. So really quickly, you're gonna see a gameplay of the first version, the first delivery, and the second version below, showing the difference between the two iterations of the game. So really quickly, can go here. I'm gonna go over the things that I changed. This is not an all-inclusive list. I'm good here what I think is more important, but there is many changes that didn't make the document over here. So first of all, accessibility and controls, I changed the input system. It no longer uses WSD. It uses the arrows in the keyboard, and that I hope will make it easier for you to navigate for the customer, for the user to navigate, and make it more ergonomic. Divide the task between two hands instead of just one, which was a huge feedback on the first try. In terms of usability and level design, I changed the flow and the instruction for it, thinking of it was a really long first level and it didn't have to be, and it was confusing for people. So what I focused on was dividing and reworking the first level into two levels. So now there's gonna be two levels. One focuses on mobility, one focuses on dangers or things that could hurt you.
The path of
And
ancient stone,
it
the
became more of a
silent shadow
more
all
streamlined.
alone.
I tried to streamline it and make it more obvious where you have to go, what you have to do, to make sure that people wouldn't get lost with it, and make sure you feel rewarding for people. In terms of the progress, I adjusted the difficulty. I made the distances shorter for jumps, as I said before, more streamlined on the levels, so it is easier to go by. It is easier to complete the initial kind of like jumps and things like that, so it will feel more rewarding, it will feel easier for everybody, and move the game along. Um, in terms of mechanics and game feel, I tried to improve the dash. That was another thing that they call the dash a little useless. So I increased the speed, I increased the length so it gets farther away. I reduced the cooldown so it could be used more often, and I added invulnerability. So now it feels a little bit more part of the kit and something that you can use and that is impactful and not just an add-on. In terms of aesthetic and narrative, for the narrative, I added cutscenes in between the two levels. I think that's my idea or how I wanted it to work, in which you get a little bit of the narrative, not too much, and it is a little bit cryptic on purpose. It's not just giving you the story and telling you the story and that's it. I wanted people, or I envision people would imagine, their own stories, and you will give it just the story bits in between. And that's my idea of not interrupting the gameplay, just using a cutscene between the two levels was the solution for me. So I have a cinematic with a voice enough. And also in terms of aesthetics, I implemented kind of like the final assets. I no longer use objects, but I use a tile map with textures, with backgrounds, with objects like the keys and the chests are there now.
To be
So
continued.
now it feels more of
Thank
a
you
complete
for
game and not
playing.
just a demo with
Mix,
some
shadows, and
missing
light.
textures and
Project
objects, right?
created for the
About the
National
sprites,
Open
I
and
added
Distance University
finally the visual
UNED
clues for the
Interactive
characters.
Design
So
course.
now it has an animation whenever you slide down a wall or whenever you're um, climbing and things like that. So it has a little bit more of visual clues, of visual um, eye candy, let's call it. And with that, I added particle systems to better indicate where a door is, where the light is gonna hurt you, and all of those kind of things. And I also added sounds to it, so now there's sounds for whenever you run, you jump, you use the dash, and you slide down. There is audio for all of that. And at last, I tried to fix the bugs that there were, like the freezing whenever you were in inverted gravity. It hasn't happened to me anymore on the build. I tried as much as I could, so I think that is good. And I also changed the combat in the sense that now whenever you hit something that will damage you, you get a bigger invincibility window, so you don't get damaged as much, and you can actually kind of like run away and move yourself out of the the danger and it doesn't feel as difficult again. It's to lower everything is to lower down the barrier of entry. I realized I was thinking like a gamer, thinking that everybody knows how to play games and like has invested their life to it, and it clearly isn't. And that goes more into the reflection of the process. It is really difficult to do everything by yourself. Programming is hard, art's hard, design is hard. So trying to keep kind of like a level mind on this was pretty difficult. Seeing the product as something that is not meant for you to use, but for everybody to use, that's also difficult. So listening to that feedback, it's I think the biggest reflection I can get out of it is learning to listen to feedback and thinking on the possible feedback before it even happens. And yeah, I think I made it through and I have a product that I can present, and I hope you will like it. So thank you very, very much for your time, and I hope you have an excellent rest of your night.